Hey guys, this is Kenny Pop. Today I'm doing my top 5 webtoons of all time. This is my opinion and it's solely based on how many webtoons I have read so far to, rank this. And so far I read pretty much a lot, and don't be offended if any of your favorite webtoons is not on this list because we have different, tastes, so yay. But also, if you guys don't know what webtoon is, and you guys love reading manga or anime, please go and check this out because I think this will be a whole new and very exciting experience for you guys to know what webtoon is. First of all, what is webtoon? Webtoon is also known as webcomic, and they are published only online on the internet. Most of them originate from South Korea. And the way you do it is that you scroll down and you read how you normally read from the left to the right. You don't read it like the manga style where you flip the pages from the right to the left, but this time you scroll down and read from the left to the right. If I'm confusing you, I'm sorry about that, but I hope you guys understand. Number 5 goes to I Don't Want This Kind of Hero. And yes, guys, I'm not kidding. This is their title. I don't want this kind of hero. And I'm not joking. It's legitly their name. So basically it's an organization named Spoon trying to save the world by going against their enemy called Knife. Yeah, Spoon versus Knife. Something sounds funky there, but they have... So one of the things I really love about this webtoon have to be its comedy in here, the interactions between the characters themselves, and most of all, the way it shots fire at almost every single cliche thing you have seen so far. So when you reading this, you have the moments where you be like, yeah, I got you, or oh my god, that's legitly almost everything. You are defining the rule of movies or anime. You have those moments. So I'm not kidding. If you guys love comedy and you guys love supernatural power, then I really recommend you guys. Number 4 goes to Untouchable. This series is highly recommended for any of you guys who's really into romance. So it's basically about a girl whose name's Sia Lee, or Lee Sia, and she happens to be a modern vampire. She gets her food source from touching people and absorbing their energy. When I mean absorbing their energy, I don't mean by touch and they suddenly turn into dust and they died. I mean by touching them, absorb their energy by shaking hands or whatever, and the next thing you know, they seem a little bit tired. Yeah. So since she's a model, she take a lot of photos with guys, and by doing so, skinship happens. So that's how she eats her food. And one day, a guy named Jiho happens to move next door to her, and he have OCD. So something that really attracts her is his energy when touching him. So if you guys want more information about the relationship of those two and how the series go and check it out. So yeah. The art style in here is absolutely beautiful. Plus the color on top of that, is amazing. Also, I really enjoyed the series for its character development. From the beginning, see, Jiho as just a food source, for her. And then as later times go, you see how she starts to change her perspective on him. Same goes with Jiho. At first, he wasn't really open up to her. He thought that she's one of those annoying girl and stuff. But then as time go by, he changed his thought on her too. There's so many characters around that actually changes over time, and we get to see their, interaction or the relationship becoming a little bit different. So it was something really neat about this series that I really like. Number 3 goes to Tales of the Unusual. This webtoon comprises of short miniature stories that have different events taking place in it. And supposedly it's supposed to be scary, horror, psychological, but when I read it I wasn't really scared. I mean, seriously, take it from a person who can't watch any horror movie and get really paranoid and scared after she watch it. Yeah. Also, this is a very relaxing webtoon. So when you go home from work or school, read this thing. It's really fun. It's enjoyable. Really relaxing. I mean, nothing is not too intense for you though. Nothing is really intense in here. One of the things I really like about this webtoon have to be its moral. You learn a lot from each of the story. Maybe some of the moral pretty stupid and obvious though. But you learn a lot from it. Some of the stories make you cry, man. And I have to say, the author for this webtoon are very creative. They have, like, each of the story is like somewhat really different. Sometimes it's more of on the realistic side, sometimes it's more on the fictional side. But either way, you see how creative the author is. Cough cough, beauty water. So if you guys read that and you know what beauty water is, maybe you get the joke. But they're really creative. Let's just say it like that. Number 2 goes to Girls of the Wilds. It's about Wild High School, an all-girls educational institute specializing in MMA, has a very special freshman enrolling this year. Jaegu, who happens to be the only guy in the school, fierce woman from being abandoned by his mother, is about to find out what girls are really all about. I'm telling you, this is such an amazing series. You will totally fall in love with it. By the way, I'm telling you, don't read the first chapter and then assume it's a harem, because that's what I did. And oh boy, I was so mad at myself. If I actually just suddenly drop this and never read this again just because I read the first chapter and assumed it was a harem, that's one of my regrets. But good thing I actually give the series a second chance and read it. I actually enjoyed it so much. And it's not really a harem series, guy. I'm not kidding. It's not really a harem. Maybe the first 5 chapters or so make it seem like a harem and like an ecchi one. No, it's not. But I really enjoyed the characters in here. They're so lovable. You can't help but love all of the characters in here. And they have distinct personality, which really help you connect to them. And, you just really have something for them. You can't help but love them. And as the series progresses, you see a different side to them that you don't really see, which really be like, ooh, that's cool. I learned something new about her today or him today. And on top of that, the art style is amazing, especially the fighting scene. Ooh, it's beautiful. And because of the bright, vivid, and very pretty art style, it make the fighting scene so fluid to the point that I thought I was watching it, but in real life I was just reading the webtoon. Yeah. And the characters development in here, they have a lot of characters development in here. For Jaegu, for the Dao, for Queen, for Moonyo, they have characters development for like almost all of the characters. Almost, not all. So that's something I really like. And also, this is not only focusing on, action only. There's also romance in here. So if you're into romance, then check out the series too. Number 1 goes to Noblesse. I guess for those of you who actually follow me for quite a while won't find this really surprising, since I'm a big Noblesse fan. Noblesse is actually my favorite anime, and again, I'm a very huge Noblesse fan. So it's about, for those of you who don't know what Noblesse is, so it's about Ray, the noblest of all vampires, wakes up from 820 years long sleep and starts his new life as a student in a high school founded by his loyal servant Frankenstein. Yay! But his peaceful days with other human students are soon interrupted by mysterious attackers known as the Nunyans. Boo. But I really love Noblesse is because of the excitement level I felt when I was reading this. It was so addictive to the point where I'd be like, I can't put down my phone. I need to continue reading this until I catch up. Like, it's just so addictive, and it's just like pulling you in. So really recommend you guys reading this when you guys have plenty of time to spare. And I really like the character's development in here. Ray, he have a lot of character development, even though he barely talks. Ray doesn't talk that much throughout the series, but his action, his facial expressions just tell me so much about what he's thinking and what he actually. And once he actually open his mouth and say something, your heart gonna break. I don't know how, but it's just gonna break. The characters in here again are so lovable. You can't love them. They're just like too badass, you know. Frankenstein. Whew, I love his attitude when it comes to fighting with his opponent. Like I just love his attitude in here. For Noblesse, the first 100 chapters or so, the pacing is incredibly slow, so you have to be really patient with them. And then after the 100 chapters, the pacing become faster, which make the series a little bit better. And the art style also changed. In the beginning, I guess it's more of a realistic feels. It looks more realistic, but then later on it makes the color look a little bit lighter, make the character look a little bit softer, which I really like. So it changed for the better, so you guys don't have to be worried about that. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys find a new or your personal favorite webtoon out there, because I think webtoons need to be more promoted. Like, not a lot of people know about it, but I give you their official website where you can find all of this webtoon I just named in the description below. And also, comment below what's your list of your top 5 favorite webtoon of all time, or your worst. I would like to know about your opinion and thoughts on the webtoon itself. And anyway, thanks so much for again watching this video, and I hope you like it. Thumbs up if you like it, and adios my friends and KPs.